It's that zesty flow, no shame on the flow. Yeah, it's that zesty.
So today's topic of a discussion is function call. So before we proceed with what are the different types of a function call, first we need to understand what is a called function and what is a calling function. So before we go to a definitions of a called and a calling function, let us have a small example. In this example, you just tell me which is a called function and which is a calling function, right? Say here I have a small prototype of the program. So in this prototype, I have a main function written and I have a class defined, right? So within this particular class, let me create one method. So one method something like this. Within this particular get data, I don't know. I have not written any code with respect to this particular get data. Nothing has been written. Right. Now, if I want to call this particular method, if I want to call this particular method, do I need to do do I need to create an object? Then by using object, I need to call that particular method, right? So how to call this particular get data method? First, you have to create call demo object. Call demo obj is equal to new call demo, right? After creating object, by using object, you can call that particular method which belong to the class. Yes, fine, right. So in this scenario, which is a called function, which is a calling function. Line number 10, this is the place where you are calling for the function. So this is called as calling function. Where you have written a calling function, we have written a calling function in a main section, right? In the main method, you are writing a calling function. Am I clear? Under a main method only, you are calling the function, right? So once you are calling the function, there should be a definition written for this particular method, right? So where is the definition written? At a line number 3, the definition has been written. So can I call this particular section as a called function? This is a function which has been called, right? That is what the definition says. Okay, calling function is the person who is calling you. Yes, this is a place where you are calling for the function, calling function, right? So called function, this is a function where you have a given a definition. This is a place where you are, this is a person who has been called, right? When I'm executing obj.getData, so control will be sent to this particular part, right? So he is nothing but a called function. Clear with a called and a calling function? Our topic of a discussion for today is function call, right? So function call, right? Function call. Then what is the function call then? Function call in the sense how you are calling the function. That means, are you passing any arguments when you are calling the function, right? Are you passing any arguments? Say for example, if I wrote it here 10, am I passing some value, right? So what argument this will be called as? What type of argument? Actual parameter, formal parameter. You have two types, right? This particular 10 is an actual parameter, and this actual parameter need to be copied at a formal parameter, right? So this particular copy process will happen, right? If you are calling your called function by passing a value, listen to the statement carefully. If you are calling your called function by passing the value, then this is called as call by value. That means you are calling this particular function by passing some value, so it is called as call by value, right? So let me summarize what are the things we are going to discuss in today's session. First, we have seen what is the definition. So means how exactly the called function will be written and where exactly the calling function will be written. So now what I'm saying is, based on the arguments you are passing to a called function, you have a different categories for a function call. First one is call by value. That means in this case, from a calling function, you will be passing some value to a called function, right? Using those values, it will be performing certain set of operations. Clear? The next category is call by reference, right? In this case, I'm not passing an actual value, rather I'm passing a reference, right? We are going to discuss what exactly is a call by value, right? So what are the properties with respect to call by value, and in which scenario we need to go with the call by value, right? So with respect to call by value, we will be seeing a three parts. One, so means how exactly it works, then which value you are going to pass, because it is a call by value, obviously you will be passing a value, right? So in which situation it is feasible to go with a call by, right? So these three parameters we need to discuss with respect to call by value. Similarly, with respect to call by reference also, first we need to understand how it works, right? Once we are clear how it works, then obviously we need to discuss what kind of a values need to be sent for a call by reference. Then we need to think in which situation this is feasible to go with a call by reference. And the last one is with respect to methods in a Java, you can pass a objects also, right? Objects as a return type, objects as a return type. So these are the things which we need to discuss in today's session. Clear with the overview, like what we are going to discuss in this particular session? You have to be clear with, so means to understand all these concepts, you need to clear with the which is called as, so means what is a called function and what is a calling function. Let us start with call by value. So first we'll start with the first one, that is a call by value, right? So when I said a call by value, is it referring to a same thing, call by value itself, right? Whatever the syntax we have written, it's a call by value itself. Okay, so let me do a small changes and to understand the things in a better fashion. Say for example, I have some instance variable with a value called a 50, right? So within this particular get data, let me give a same name as a data itself. It can be written, right? Can be written, correct? Now after creating an object, let me just check what is the value of object dot data, right? Obj is nothing but an object of a class. Be clear with the explanation whatever I am giving with respect to the program. You need to be in a position to tell me what will be the output of the program, right? So means it completely depends on how you are going to understand the concept, right? If you understood the concept, you can easily tell what will be the output, right? I have not done nothing much with respect to the program. I have just created a class called as a call demo. So within this particular class, I have taken one instance variable called int data is equal to 50. Okay, so I have given a definition for a get data. So what a get data has to do, I have not written what exactly it has to do, right? Now what I'm saying is I am creating object of a call demo. I'm creating object of a call demo. So now let me just print what might be the value of object dot data, right? So system dot out dot println value of data is double quotes plus obj dot data, right? So consider that I have not written anything here, so nothing has been written as for, just one instance variable has been created, and even method is also not having any definition. Can I run this program and check what might be the output? Will it execute fine? Will it show any error saying that you have not defined anything with respect to the method, like that? Method has not been called, any errors will it show? Nothing it has showing. So let us just check what might be the output, right? it is showing a 50 because object dot data, that means you are talking about this particular instance variable, so it is containing a 50, so the same value has been printed in the output. Clear? I have not used any call by value or nothing like that. So means nothing has been used, just instance variable has been created, so I have just displaying whatever is the value of that particular instance variable. Right? Now shall we use a call by value concept? What does a call by value says? You have to call that particular method by passing some value, right? So what kind of a value does a method will take? It will take an integer value, right? So let me call that particular function object dot get data, right? Let me pass some 500 to this, right? 500 has been passed to that. Now within this particular method, let me write an instruction. Data, so means the new value of a data is equal to the previous value of a data plus 100. This is the value that I have changed with respect to a data, right? After this particular change, let me print a values, right? Value of data, right? Now what will be output if I run the program? Can I, so means most of you people are saying a 50 and a 600. Can I tell you to go through the program once carefully, because I asked the question. Program blows up error in the function get data. Kshitij says it will show the error. Why? So means others are saying it will be showing a 50 and a 600. Who is wrong? Who is right? Shall we cross check by compiling? Before compiling, let us just have some assumption what might be the output. Yes, let us just analyze and keep some reference, right? Then we will see whether the output is according to our reference or not. Okay, so your program starts from a main function, created object. So when an object has been created, so it will be having a provision to access your instance members. So when you are trying to put when you are trying to print obj.data, it is going to print a 50, right? No questions and no doubts with respect to this particular part. It will be printing a 50 for me. Yes, absolutely fine. Now you are saying obj.get data as 500. That means 500 has been passed to this particular value, which is called as a data, right? So 500 will be copied to this particular data, which is a local variable for the method, right? Now this particular data will be having a 500 in it because you are passing a 500. Correct. Now the new value of a data is equal to data plus 100. That means you have passed a 500. Now it will be taking a 500 plus 100, right? So new value of a data is equal to 600, right? Yes, you have calculated a 600. Are you sending this information to a main method? Not sending. You have not written any return value and told like carry this 600 to a main method. Didn't write. Yes, didn't write. Are you talking about the instance variable data or a local variable data here? Now here there is a confusion. Are you talking about instance variable data or a local variable data? Confusion, right? Within this particular scope, if you are not specifying anything explicitly, it will consider it as a local variable data, right? Without specifying anything, if you are just writing a data within this particular scope, it will consider it as local variable data, right? When it is the local variable data, can I say that its scope is restricted to only these braces? Yes, its scope has been restricted to only that particular braces. That means whatever 500 you have been passed, that has been copied and it has been modified to a 600, but that particular change in a 600 you are not carrying anywhere, right? At this particular point of instructions means execution part, your data acts as a local variable. Local variable in the sense within this scope, its existence will be there. If you come outside of this one, if you come outside of this particular brace, and if you are talk about the data, then it will be talking only with respect to instance variable, not with respect to a local variable. Am I making some sense? Right? Now what you are saying? You are saying obj dot data, right? You are not talking about a local variable data. You are saying with respect to this object, you are talking about instance variable data, right? So what is the value of instance variable data? 50, not a 600. 600 is only with respect to this block, didn't come outside, right? This is my explanation. Let us just cross check whether your answers will be correct or my answer will be correct. Compiled, called them. Call of data is 50 initially. Call of data after a function call is also 50, right? So both the cases you are getting a 50-50 itself, not the answer which you have given as a 50 and a 600. Now it is a time to ask a few questions. Where 500 will go? 500 will be copied to a data and it is there in this particular local variable data. If you want to check whether it has been modified or not, after this particular statement you can write a system.out.println statement. Within that scope it will print a 600 for you. If you come out of that particular scope, 600 will not be available for you. Sir, why not 100? Let me clarify you the things. Point number one, you have two different variables with the same name, right? One is a int data, which is in the scope of the class. That means this I am saying it as a instance variable, right? That means whenever you create an object, so object will be having a capacity to hold a value with respect to this particular variable, right? So this is your class level variable. You have a one more variable which is of a same name, but its scope is a different, right? Its scope is within this particular method, right? So once it comes out of this particular method, after this method, if you are talking anything with respect to a data, then you are talking about instance variable, not with respect to local variable, right? So whatever changes you have done with respect to this particular data, so those particular values will be only for this particular area. If you come out of this particular area, then you are talking about a different data. Now, I mean, if you are clear with respect to this, then I can extend my discussion a little, sir. Okay. What I'm saying that you have two different types of variables now. One data is with respect to instance variable and another data is with respect to local variable. Sir, what about a 14th line? 14th line, that is just a function call. Sir, what is the difference between functions and the methods? Both are same. Functions, methods, name both are same. I can call it as a function or I can call it as a method. No confusion in that. Sometimes I might be using a name as a function, sometimes I might be using a name as a method. So sir, what should we do to widen the scope? Widen the scope is a secondary. What is my question is, say if my intention was not to update this particular data variable, right? If my intention was, listen to the explanation carefully, you will, all your confusions will be solved, right? If my intention was not to change the value of a local variable, my intention was not to change the value of a local variable, rather my intention is, if my intention was to change instance variable, understanding? If my intention was to change the value of an instance variable, right, then what I need to say is, here I need to explicitly specify that don't work with the local variable. This is a local variable, right? Don't work with the local variable, rather whichever object has called you, right? which object has called you? Obj. Obj is the object which is calling that particular method, right? Whichever object has called you with respect to the intention, here I need to use a small keyword which is called as this. What it is specifying is, now when I say this, it is telling to a compiler that at this particular scope in the sense within this particular braces, at this particular scope, whichever instance variable is available, which instance variable is available with respect to that name? This data, right? If your intention is to talk with respect to instance variable, not with respect to local variable, you specify this keyword. What this keyword says is, he is not talking about a local variable, rather he is talking about an instance variable, right? Now what will be the output? This dot data means you are going to update this particular variable, right? Here if I am writing, I don't take a this dot data here, it might be confusing. What I'm saying is this dot data, that means I'm going to update this particular variable. With what value I'm updating? 500 will be passed local variable. For the local variable 500, I'm going to add a one more 100, right? Where am I putting this particular answer? Whichever answer you got from this particular expression, you are putting it into a instance variable called a data, right? So now what will be output here? Shall we just cross check? Understood the difference between local variable, instance variable, and this keyword? This keyword is used to refer to the instance variable. If I am not using this keyword there, then it will consider it as a local variable and updation will be restricted to only that particular method. If I am using this keyword, then it explicitly says that you are not talking about a local variable, we are talking about an instance variable. So modify the values with respect to instance variable, not with respect to local variable. Sir, without this, can we print 600 returning 0? See, if you are saying a return 0, then it will print a 0 itself. No. Without using this keyword, if you want to print means, here after this particular statement, you remove this particular this keyword. After this, you write a return data. Return data, if you write, here again you need to create a variable which will hold that particular return value and print that one. 600 can be printed. So means my intention is not to print a 600. My intention is to show you like what is the difference between a local variable and instance variable, and in which scenario we need to go with this keyword. So sir, this means that the object will always call the instance variables instead of a local ones. Yes, obviously that is what we are telling from the starting. So means the day we have started with the Java, the same from that time we are telling the same thing. Once you create an object, so that particular object can work with instance variables and the methods whichever you have defined, right? Within the method, whatever variables you are going to create, its scope will be restricted to only method. It will not come outside of that particular method. Another question, sir, we won't we use a pointers? Sir, won't we use a pointers? No, we don't have a concept of a pointers with respect to Java. Sir, in the line number 4, why should we again declare the variable data? That is, see, formal argument. I can give any name for understanding the things in a better way. I gave a same name for both. See, this data is local variable, right? Its scope is only within a get data method. This is instance variable. Its scope will be throughout the class. Don't get confused. Say for example, instead of putting all these things, if I have taken a some other name, different name, int d, if I have done a d is equal to data plus 100, no confusions itself. Why I have taken this particular same name is, according to our rules, we can give a same name for a instance variable and a local variable, no problem. But if you are giving like that, and if you are using any variable name, then I am showing like reference will be given for the local variables itself. It is not going to change your instance variable value, right? Shall we see a few points with respect to a call by value? Okay, so let me display a few points which are there with respect to if you are clear with the program, then you can easily understand whatever statements have been put with respect to call by value. It won't take a much time, right? Call by value copies the value of an argument into the formal parameter of the subroutine. Subroutine, function, method, all the names are same, right? So what is the call by value does? Call by value copies the value of an argument into the formal parameter of a subroutine, right? So from an actual parameter, you are going to copy a value into formal parameter. Yes. Changes made to the parameter of the subroutine have no effect on the argument, right? So if you are doing any changes, then those changes will be there with respect to a method itself. Outside a method, those changes will not be available. So those changes will be with respect to that particular scope itself, right? So those changes will not be affected for the parameter, right? In Java, when you pass a primitive type to a method, it is passed by value. That means if you are passing a primitive type, in the sense your primitive data types like integer, float, char, string, all those things, right? Whichever value you specify, those things will be sent as a call by value only. Sending a value, right? Call by value. You are calling a function by passing some value. That is nothing but a call by value. Here is a small example. So the same example which I have written already. So the same example has been put here. Clear? Shall we modify our same program to understand what is a call by reference? So now my topic of a discussion is call by reference, right? When I say reference, you keep in mind that a copy of a something need to be sent. That means once you do any changes with respect to that particular object, those changes should be permanent. That means that change should reflect for you anytime, right? Now when you are talking about a reference, we are talking about objects, right? So now what is my question is, here with respect to a get data, I don't want to pass the normal primitive data type, because now it is a call by reference. That means it will be expecting the object here, right? Expecting object. At the same time, how you will be calling a function? Call by reference. Call by reference you are telling, right? You are calling by passing a reference, right? I am saying reference is nothing but an object. Now what does the statement become? You are calling a function by passing an object. Is that clear? You are calling a function by passing the object. What will be there in the object? Object will be having all the instance variables, right? Shall we modify the same program? Don't get confused. I'm trying to make it as a simple, so I'm using the same program and I'm modifying for you, right? So now my question is call by reference. Call by reference means object need to be passed. I am passing a object. What will be there in this particular object? It will be having a value for all the instance variables. What are the instance variables with respect to this particular object? Which is the instance variable that object is holding?
50.
Object is holding only one instance variable, that is nothing but a data. Correct? When you are passing an object, this is nothing but your formal parameter or actual parameter. Actual parameter. This actual parameter should match with a formal parameter, right? When it has to match, even this argument should be of object type. correct? Which object type? Call demo O. Understanding? Because this obj is of type call demo, correct? This obj is of type call demo. Now this object, that is actual parameter, will be copied to a formal parameter called a O. Clear? Now O will also have a O dot data. Same types, right? See, at this particular point, can I say I have an instance variable, something called as obj dot data? I'm not taking a much instance variables because it might be confusing for you. So I am taking only one particular variable which is called as a obj dot data instance variable. When you are passing a call, function call, when you are doing here for the called function, will it be copying a obj dot data to a o dot data? Copy of that, right? It will be copied to o dot data. Within this particular method, let me write your o dot data is equal to o dot data previous value plus 500 some value. What might be the output now? Will it work fine? Any errors? What might be the answer? Will it print a 50 here in this case? Expecting answers in the chat box. Whether it might be a wrong also, no problem. Put something. Later we will cross check after executing a program. 50 along with 50, what it will print? 550. Yes, done. Sir, what is O doing here? O is just a copy, some means formal parameter. Shall I write it as a obj only? I can give a name as a obj also, right? Let us give obj only. Why to worry? Now, previous value of obj dot data. Now, what might be the output? 5 and 550. Shall we cross check what might be the output? Compiled fine, no errors. Whoever has said the correct answer, they understood the concept of call by reference. Observe the things carefully. You are not talking about any local variable. You are clearly saying that that particular instance data, whatever is there, you add 500 to it. Call by reference. Reference in the sense you have a value already. There will be only one copy. One in that particular copy only you are changing the values now. Whatever changes you do, that will be reflected. No need to return that particular value explicitly. Programs returning objects. See, concept is not complicated. You might be confused because you might you may not be clear with the call function calls. Let me uh, draw a small picture just to make you understand the things. 1 second. Ah. Now what I'm saying is, whenever you are creating object, right? Object in the sense, when you create object, you consider that a small circle, something like this, right? This is the object that you are creating. Once you create object, in that particular object will have copy of a instance variables. What are the instance variable you have? You have an instance variable called the data. That means if I consider this object as x, this is the object x. With respect to x object, you will be having a one instance variable called a d. I will specify data as a d. Right now, x dot d, in the sense you are talking about instance variable of a x object, right? X objects value called at. You are talking about this one. When you create object, say for example obj you have created, right? So when you have created object, what is the initial value of this particular d? This particular initial value of a d, you are giving it as a 50. This is the initial value that you are giving. Later what you are doing, you are saying that obj dot get data is equal to, you are passing the object to a function call, right? Suppose if this is not a obj, if this was a o, right, what it will be having, it will be having another copy of a object. Rather instead of a d, so means d will be there obviously, the name instead of a x, here the name will be whatever the new name you are giving for that particular object, right? As it is a copy of this one, here also the value of a d will be a 50 itself. Instance variables means once you perform a object copy, everything from one object will be copied to another object. So you will be having a d is equal to 50 here also. If I am doing obj dot data is equal to obj dot data, that means I am saying whatever is the previous value of that, you add something to it. That means how much I am adding? I am adding the 500 for this particular value, right? Now what I am saying is this particular new object whichever you have created is nothing but a copy of this particular x object. When I say copy of this, I can refer to this updated value either by using a x or by using a o. Is this clear now? This is nothing but call by reference. Can I erase such a beautiful diagram? Yes. So now the next concept says methods returning object. That means initial value is always printed. It is up to me. If I am interested in the printing, then it will be printed. Kushal, just see here in the first system.out.println, I am not doing anything. I am just creating object, and when I am creating object, obviously that instance variable will be available. I am printing that particular instance variable. Nothing I am doing. I am not performing any manipulations on that particular data. If I have not initialized this one with a 50, then it will be printing a 0 for me. Clear? Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now the next topic says return object, returning object. Can we return an object? Right? So for an existing program itself, see, once again I'm telling you, don't worry about the output. So means be clear with the what I mean to say, the flexibilities we are using, that means the different ways we are writing a program, right? Don't worry about the output, right? Output should come according to the way we have written instructions. That's it. We are not writing a program to get output of a 50,600 or a 50,550. That is not our intention. We are checking whether whatever we are discussing are working properly or not. That is our intention, right? So now what is the topic? The topic is your method should return objects. Oh my god. When a method has to return object, do I need to write a return statement? Right? Usually where does a return statement will be written? What a question, right? Return statement need to be written. Where that particular return statement need to be written? Return statement need to be written in a called function. Right? So what is the topic? Object need to be written. Right? Huh. Can I write something like this? Topic is to return object, so I am writing a return object. Perfect, right? Perfect itself, no problem in that. You are returning an object, whichever object you have modified, you are returning that particular object. Yes, when a particular method is returning an object, does I need to change any data type for this, or can I keep it as a void? We have to change void before a function name. Yes, right? When this particular method is a returning object, can I keep it as a void? No, you cannot keep it as a void, right? Then what it has to be changed with? Which object you are returning? Obj, returning object of a obj. What type of object it is? it is a type of object of a call demo. That means you are expecting, somewhere we have discussed defining a class is nothing but defining a data type, somewhere, right? Now you are saying that this particular method is returning an object of type call demo. Is this clear now? Right? Now come to a calling function. When you come to a calling function, at which place you are calling this particular get data function? In a line number 14, right? So now this particular get data will return object value for you, right? When it is returning object value, say for example, in the previous classes we have discussed, if it was a returning a int, you are writing int x is equal to something. That means this particular return value need to be assigned to a someone now. Someone. Who should be that particular someone? That particular someone should be of same type of a call demo, right? So let me create one reference variable of a call demo. This is one more object. Call demo O is equal to obj dot get data of a obj. What a fascinating statement we wrote, right? So now after this particular program, so means after this particular call, whatever object you are returning, listen to the statements carefully, whatever the object you are returning, that will be copied to O, right? So in a system.out.println statement, now no need to go with the obj.data, you can do the show with the o.data, because the value has been come from that particular method and now it has been copied to O. Let me just cross check whether it will execute fine or not, and if it executes, what should be the answer? Is it working fine? Are we using all the concepts which we have discussed, saying a call by this is methods returning objects, right? Yes, there is a method which is returning an object. As this object is of a call demo, so the return type of a method is a call demo. As this function is returning some value, I have created one reference variable to hold the value whichever has been sent from a method. If you understand this, then it will be a very good understanding, and based on the concept, this will be some suitable example for this. The reason why I'm taking a only one example for explaining all the different categories is you will be having some track to understand. So means what are the different ways of, in all the different ways we got almost the same output itself, right? But the way of writing a program was a different ways, right? Don't worry about output, be clear with the concept. Is this clear? Any doubts? And once I share you the recording, go through the recording, pause the things, listen to the statements carefully, understand each and every statement, then try to execute a program. It won't take a much time, maybe some 20 to 25 minutes to revise everything whatever I discussed until now. And with respect to a PPT, based on a call by, that means returning object, you have a one complicated example. That means this is a valid example itself, but it is a bit tricky kind of a thing. This example is of a bit tricky kind of a thing. In an examination, if you get a question, any of a program, either you write this particular program which is there in a slide, or the program which I have discussed with respect to JEdit, so means whichever program I have typed and executed and shown you. Both the programs will justify the statement. It is up to you, whichever program you understood better, you write that particular program, right? Thanks for your time. Have a nice day.